Welcome back. In this video we're gonna be dealing with what we call the toolbox, which you'll find way on the left hand side of the screen, a tall narrow column of tools. Now if you're brand new to Photoshop and you have not messed around Photoshop before, this can be a little bit overwhelming. Okay, there's so much to see in the toolbox. Now there's a neat way to warm yourself up in Photoshop. If you choose to hover your mouse over the top of the tools, you will get something we call a tooltip, a message that tells you the name of the tools. Here we have the lasso tool, the marquee tool, your pick tool. You might spend a lot of time and hovering over the tools to get the names. Now some of the tools have a tiny black arrow at the bottom right hand corner. That means if you click and hold with your mouse, you're gonna get a tool flyout, which means there are more tools you can see. If you click and hold the mouse, you're gonna get more tools with Photoshop. Now let me show you a couple of cool things. If I use my marquee tools, if at the end you're gonna see a letter M at the end. What is that all about? Well, I'll show you. If I hover my mouse at the top of the tool again, I'll also see the letter M. What that is means that is the keyboard shortcut to activate that particular tool. Isn't that cool? Okay, I'm gonna go back to the very first tool, which is the move to the black arrow tool. If I hit the M key on my keyboard, it's gonna activate my marquee tool on the toolbox. Now most of the tools have their own key stroke of shortcuts to access them very faster than any other thing. Okay, like the I for the eyedropper tool, B for the brush tool. There are tons of shortcuts. I don't know them all actually, but I know those I use most often. Then V for the move tool, Z for zoom, H for the end tool, P for the pen tool. So as you use Photoshop more and more, you will be used to these keyboard shortcuts to get your work faster. Don't try to memorize all, just focus on those one you think are very useful, which you work with most of the time. Now let me show you a cool stuff with the lasso tool. Now if I click and hold my mouse on the lasso tool, I'm gonna get a tool flyout. We all know that. Now check this out. I'm gonna activate my move tool and I want to access the lasso tool, but I want to access every other tool in that group where the lasso tool is. So I'm gonna use my keyboard to access the lasso tool, which I've done. I'm gonna hold the shift and the L again, which activates the next lasso tool. As I hold down my shift key and hit my L, it switched the tool in that group. Now let me try this with another kind of tool. I'm gonna use the eyedropper tool. Okay, if I'm gonna hold my shift down and my high key, it switched the eyedropper to the ruler tool, to the comments, to the note tool, to the count tool, like that. Isn't that cool? That makes it easy and nice. Now I'm gonna try something much more cool. Okay, now I'm gonna hold my Alt key and click on the tool, and it's also switch the tool in that group. So I can continue to do that to get through to my tool very fast than any other thing. I will mention something so quickly here. Way down at the bottom of the toolbox, I have the color area there. I'm gonna hit a D key on my keyboard to return it to the default color, which is black for the foreground color and white for the background color at the bottom of it. So we'll talk more on working on the color in the next video. Yeah, so there's something about the toolbox. If you work with the previous version of Photoshop, you will notice that the toolbox is kind of different. You will notice that it has two columns for the toolbox, but if I click at the arrow at the top of it, I'm gonna get the two column toolbox, which you may be used to. So if I single click at the top arrow, I'm gonna get either the two column toolbox or a column toolbox. So it all depends up to you the way you want it. I prefer this single column because it gives me more space to work on my Photoshop. So that's all for now on the toolbox.